Hi, my name is Nick Mermiges. I'm a South Carolina family court attorney. That means divorce cases, custody cases, modifications, things like that. And today I'm going to talk about the concept of separation. I get a lot of calls from folks telling me that they want to file for separation. Okay. Um, and the reason for that is that for a no fault divorce in South Carolina, you need to be separate and apart from your spouse for at least 12 months. Okay, and they think that for that clock to start ticking, you need to file something for separation, and that's actually not true. The 12-month clock just starts ticking from the last night you spent under the same roof with that person. Okay, you don't need to file something to signify that. What you do need to do is bring a witness in at the final hearing who can confirm that they know you well enough and they know that you've been separated for more than a year. Okay, but unless it's a real simple case or a brief marriage, okay, and there are no kids, just leaving is and separating is not something you necessarily want to do. Okay, what instead you want to file what's known as a separation action or an action for separate support and maintenance. Okay, and so when people talk about filing for separation, usually that is what they are thinking about. And so basically, an action for separate support and maintenance you can file day one after you've separated, be the day you or your spouse moves out. And in that action, the court can address all of the issues that are brought up in a divorce case. So if you have kids, custody, child support, and then division of property, and alimony, spousal support, paying attorney's fees, selling, the home, dealing with all of the issues that people fight about in a divorce case. So if you have, a long marriage or a contested case or a case where, there are kids, what you want to do is you want to file for separation very promptly, okay? Because contested cases are cases with a lot of issues that need to be resolved in a clear way. They can take, several months at least. And so you file for separation as soon as you separate, and that way by the time the year actually rolls around, all those issues that you would have thought about or at least had to have looked into, negotiated and worked out in a clear way, all those issues are resolved in the separation action. And that means that on day 366, you can file for your divorce, and it's going to happen promptly. It's not going to be held up by having to litigate and resolve these other issues. There's already going to be, if you have kids in custody, a determination, a visitation schedule, a child support amount, okay? And if there's a marriage, there's already going to be a division of assets, a division of debts, determination about who's responsible for what, how things are going to be unwound, and in a longer marriage, spousal support, and maybe even attorney's fees. Okay, and in particular, if you have a case where you don't agree, and there is stuff to fight about, there are savings, there's a house, there's retirement, there are kids, you need to file for separation promptly so that you can, one, get a temporary ruling from a court, okay, because you can go in and get the court to immediately order, or within about 30 days of retaining an attorney, you can get a court hearing to order that, who pays for what, who gets custody of the kids, what the visitation schedule is. So if you're not getting along with that person, the court will step in and give you guidance. You can immediately get prompt relief from the court. And then beyond that, if you actually want to get divorced, within a year, or as close to that year mark as possible, you got to deal with all these contested issues beforehand. Okay, so that's how separate support and maintenance works, or that's how filing for separation works. The only other thing is that if you aren't separated already, can't get into court. Okay, the court does not have jurisdiction to order someone to leave a home if there are not fault-based grounds. Okay, if somebody is committing adultery, if they are habitually drinking, if they're physically abusive, okay, if it's one of those things and y'all are still living together, the court can hear your case and can order the at-fault spouse to leave, okay? But for example, in an adultery case, you only have to wait 90 days to get your divorce from the day you file. Okay, so that's a little bit different. The point is, though, in the absence of fault, the first day you can file for separation, or the first day the court has jurisdiction, meaning the power to make a decision, is the day that you move out. Okay, but day one, when you move out, your attorney can file paperwork, and you can get a temporary hearing so that you can figure out who's going to pay for what, okay, on a temporary basis till the case is over. And regardless, you can get the process rolling so that all these contested issues can hopefully be completely resolved by the time your 1 year mark is hit, and that'll allow you to actually get divorced and move on with your life, in a fair and prompt way. Okay, so that's how separations work. Again, my name is Nick Mermiges. You can contact my office at 803-724-1258. We do free phone consultations, and we do take divorce, custody, family cases throughout the state of South Carolina.